Uh, Hello, uh, hello everybody of my fans of YouTube. My name, my name is David, David A. David Andrew Cooney, or Oversword Ashley. D- D- David, David A. Cooney or David Cooney Oversword. So, this is my channel called Kane, Kane's TV channel. That's my channel, by the way. So, yeah, I'm gonna say, but I'm so happy for guys for, so, yeah, I'm gonna say, but, I'm so happy for guys for, subscribing to my channel of 288 subscribers to my channel. Love this guy to you. So, on to tomorrow's, and, and so and tomorrow's discovery of 200 and 289 discoveries mentioned years currently. Yeah, exactly. So 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 by the way so I say I was so happy for you guys for keep folding carrying people's powers by FBAs. It makes like so I'm gonna say, but I'm so proud of you for people for most votes of catching people's bios. Uh, Like like uh, what about Penwise round three versus Patrick round three and Fabrice Bebucks Vivali. Is it is for is for most voted of my series for for I like I and like IMDb for for using the episodes, actually, but uh, was something, but I don't care about bunch of people for not for not keep voting, for not actually for voting of pairwise round two versus good round two like that. That really hurts my disrespectful visible spirit like that. Don't rub me in. I still love my Instagram with my channel. It's nothing else. And know what? Visit people. Just visit. I don't care for a bunch of people for this baffled way for YouTuber like that. That means like YouTube like YouTube voice is still hating of Monty Heist, but I'm not coming back as an honest. I don't think of the Portugal people. I don't need for the Portuguese people for keep saying of it's all America has their own thing deal. Uh, Not not actually for becoming rude for Portuguese people say. it's gonna be up like what who and like I mean like what I can hear you what can you please speak up please I can hear you I can't understand me please speak up please speak up are you lazy to me please speak up it's, yeah yeah that is that makes a bunch of people for that means like the Portuguese people for keep and knowing for speak up for Portuguese with English for Omega way. That is not actually for Omega what I actually wanted. What what the Portuguese what if the Portuguese why is it why I supposed to do that? I just stand for my resonance of my president of for fun for keep falling for for not falling Donald J. Trump in the USA anymore. I like and I know like the complicated way. Yeah, that that makes like white people says hating others. I don't like white people for hating Donald J. Trump, hating people, and and even like the YouTubers. I don't think a bunch of people for uh the Portuguese people says fame. They set for the video of money. And America has it. America has it all thing. Uh, my no home. Like like radio says for selling with a new place with my new home to Portugal home. And even like I suggested to speak the Portuguese lesson with Caesar. This this my favorite Portuguese teacher by friend. Yeah, I like say for my friend Caesar has a has a birthday as July. Well, I say I'm so happy for you, Caesar. I will sing this for you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Caesar. Happy birthday to you. And many more. That's, that's my American way, not Portugal way. Alright, let's get back to the video of Poppy Playtime Chapter 2 X, X, I mean, about Laura Story Explained. So, yeah, so like I said, how many likes mentioned again? So, let's get here of 0 30 likes mentioned out. Let's get to you. Um, Um, how many views I got? So let's get hit off 32,000 views of YouTube. This guy is thinking a visit. And how many likes my song get? So let's do so let's do the video. I mean, how how many likes my song get? So let's get hit of let's get hit of 232,000 likes my channel. Alright, so let's go to get the video of so let's go to alright, it's time for the 3 video. That means like Poppy Playtime chapter I mean Poppy Playtime chapter 2 story and ending. Uh, who experiment 1006 the prototype is and what actually happened at the end of Poppy Playtime chapter 2. So like I said,
Puppy Playtime Chapter 2 is finally here, which unveils a lot of information about the lore and the theories we have been speculating on for the past several months. The protagonist, accompanied by the recently freed puppy, embarks on a new mission to find a way out of the factory swarmed by hostile life toys. However,
wait,
he's
is that
obstructed by
Bachelor
Mommy
Body?
Longlegs, who forces him to play a few games before letting him go. Or will she? Hi folks, I'm R, and welcome to the video. Make sure to send me your theories and game suggestions on Twitter, which I could cover in the next videos. This video will have spoilers. With that said, let's begin.
Okay, start. Although it's about have as its why is Maker Maker channel. Does make sense.
The unnamed protagonist continues from where we left off in chapter 1, finding himself in Puppy's room, with her glass case open and no sign of her to be seen anywhere. The introductory text suggests that the protagonist wants to find a way out of the factory now that he has found Puppy and uncovered the twisted atrocities that took place here. Using a door which was inaccessible before, the protagonist enters a three-way corridor with the door in the middle labeled as Elliot Ludwig, the founder and
Oh,
overseer
LA,
of Playtime
I
Co.
mean like LA Ludwig of the commercial of the door of the game.
The door is locked, causing the protagonist to
That makes
try the
sense,
other two
actually.
possible ways, finding bloodstains and splatters on different parts
Oh,
of their
what is happening
arms. It
for
becomes clear that
Pokeball?
people were murdered brutally, whether
Is,
under the
is,
hands of
is that
Bobby
covering in
Wuggy,
blood?
who was the
Oh my
main
goodness.
antagonist in the first chapter, Bobby Longlegs, who the protagonist will play soon enough, or any other malevolent entities embodied in the walking
Oh,
monstrous
probably just
toys. As the protagonist
oh,
continues
probably just
on,
watching
faint
me.
whispers guide him
I
where he
could
needs
think
to
of,
go.
I could think,
On the right-hand
please
path,
just so
the protagonist comes
this
across a
way,
Huggy
keep
Wuggy
going.
interactive board with a button which plays a few pre-recorded voices when the final one makes a sinister remark about squeezing children until something before being redacted, representing what became of Huggy Wuggy, becoming a
Oh,
menacing and
it says,
epicidal experiment
it
to
says
truly
clutches
hunt
something.
people until they die.
Mm-hmm.
Finding a red puppy-shaped key, the protagonist manages to unlock Elliot Blueblade's door, which leads to his office. On his walls, he has multiple fan art drawings, seemingly from children, due to their grammatical and spelling errors in writing, indicating that the company had a good relationship with children, especially as they had a project of fostering orphans and finding them suitable parents. On his desk, there lies a videotape and a note. The note reads about an experiment on a live rat labeled as Experiment 814, which was intentionally killed and placed in a gel mixture, including poppy flower, in hopes of reviving the rat. The note ends on a much more sinister line, suggesting that the experiment would be probably more effective.
Uh, what is saying of the snow, sorry? Uh, anyways, I still believe in the parental, the parent, the parent, uh, pinnacle of the poppy flower is new properties sent me to believe that the Papa Misters and Peninsulas could have he remembering the properties the poppy flower has for for long time for a long time. Can't every several borders, and I don't really believe that for no reason. Perhaps something larger than arrangement and then most different results. Oh, that makes sense. How is that paper for understand me?
On larger organisms, which could indicate that poppy flower was used in the future
I can't
experiments
say
to
it.
bring toys such as
I am table
Bobby, Huggy
spoilers
Wuggy,
just
and Bobby
can't read.
Longlegs to life. Inserting the VHS tape into the player, a quick documentary-type video covers a short segment of Elliot Ludwig's life, who lost a family member in the 1960s, which cost him a lot of
Why do you think
distress.
Mother does
So
it with
again,
this
he
commercial?
continued on working to
That doesn't
produce
make
more
sense.
toys, and maybe that's when he started experimenting with puppy flowers, trying to bring a dead person back to life, which explains the multiple experiments on live beings and the deviated sinister current experiments making toys come to life.
I see what I mean.
Playtime Co. is the product of a great man by the name of Elliot Ludwig, divorced but a family man at heart. His sights were always set on bringing amazing toys to amazing children around the globe. Ludwig spent countless hours hours in the factory, working overtime relentlessly in an attempt to continuously innovate and surprise. In the 1960s, an unfortunate family death had pushed Ludwig down to his lowest. But with so much ambition, he rose back up and continued to fulfill his vision for the Playtime Co. toy factory. Ludwig could never be content leaving a project unfinished. But just how did one man come to create such an astounding empire? How did he manage to stay determined even after suffering such a tragic loss? It all began in the fateful year of 19.
The
The
beginning
time when
of
Elliot
19 something.
Ludwig wanted to bring back to life the beloved member of his family he lost in the 1960s, leading to him to go insane and experiment on innocent humans, taking their lives and freedom. Going through events, the protagonist gets startled by a box dropping down, realizing that Bobby was trying to find a way out. She instructs him to power up the generator so they can head to a train, which she has the code of, so they can both escape the factory.
Oh, the main
Reaching the
like,
hallway as puppies
let's go back.
down, realizing that Bobby was trying to find a way out. She instructs him to power up the generator so they can head to a train, which she has the code of, so they can both escape.
Oh, the main like a four corner. The main like Buster Bunny, Casey Missy, Cat B, and Mommy Lolix. All the keypad. That's that's really cool to be honest. How did how did solve all this Buster Bunny, Casey Missy, Cat B, and Mommy Lolix? How how's it possible? Is the player having to do this?
Escape the factory. Reaching a hallway as Poppy is about to inform the protagonist about something. A stretchy hand emerges from the massive hall behind her, grabbing her and pulling her in, interrupting her from saying what she wanted to disclose with the protagonist.
No, puppy.
Jumping through the hole and following Poppy, the protagonist comes out of the hole, realizing it was an enormous slide. The slide is labeled as Elliot Ludwig,
What
with
is
a
that
few more
thing
holes
if it's not a
labeled as
game?
Smaller Gregor, Lake Pier, and Eddie in the north. As heading to the game station, the protagonist gets stopped by Mummy
Or is
Longlegs,
it the
keeping Poppy
forest?
hostage with her mouth being forced shut with some sort of spider web, with Mummy
What is the
Longlegs informing the
forest?
protagonist that he should play one of her games if he wants to survive and avoid being torn apart and have his insides eaten, instead
Gray
of just being given the code to the train so
Mario
easily by Poppy.
name. And yeah, baby.
Isn't this exciting, Bobby? Very exciting, Mommy. Mommy heard that this Poppy was going to just give you the train code to escape. Now, how is that fun? Instead, I'm looking for the game. The game station is still working. It will be just like old times. And if you win all three games, I'll give you the train code. Mommy loves that idea, Puppy. You're going to have so much fun. Head to musical memory, and Mommy will get things started. Obey the rules. Tear your apart and eat your insides while you're still alive.
Pulling out one of the hands on the grab rack, the
What if
protagonist is
Mommy
now
Lolix?
left with the
What
beer. He
what if
proceeds to
Mommy
enter the game
Lolix
station where the
still
train is
says
present.
in the player
On the
side?
walls, the protagonist gets a good view of the trunk of all of the main mascots: Puppy, Huggy Wuggy, Kissy Missy, Mommy Longlegs, Ron, Boogie Bunt, Bonzo Bunny, Cat Bee, Candy Cat, and PJ, Huggy Pug. Entering the game station
I thought
are
I
many
could
other
reach
fan arts from
that
kids, one showing Huggy Wuggy hugging Kissy Missy,
toys
who is a female counterpart to him, which could be suggestive of them having
for
had a
Playtime Co.
relationship.
actually.
There are three underground gameplay sets called musical
what
memory,
about
statues, and Wonder
what
Woman.
about
In order for the train to be
catnap?
activated,
And
the
actually,
protagonist has to play
Zudo.
one of these games, what he calls one of the hand levers, and opens the musical menu. The pre-recorded voice by Stella unveils that she did in fact obtain a job in the factory after her interview observed in the first chapter for the pink videotape, who is now instructing the kids what to do at the game
Ah,
station.
so wiki.
Hi kids, welcome to the game station. I'm Stella, and we've got 3 super duper fun games to play. Little tests show us just how crazy strong and smart you are. Follow Mommy Longlegs down the stairs, and we start by playing musical memory. See you in a bit.
Going to the musical memory, the protagonist reaches the molding room where he finds another videotape. Watching the tape, it's a tutorial on how to use the green hand, which can contain a temporary electric shock. This, of course, becomes very handy later in the game. Holding a new green hand, the protagonist traverses through the vents, reaching a room with many TVs, which seems to involve another mascot called Bonzo Bunny. The TV room runs a game playing a series of color
Is
patterns,
it
which the player
is it
must
blood for
remember.
simple
If any
supervisor
mistakes are
bunny
made,
and
Bonzo
the
the
blade
Bunny
must got
descends from the
memory?
ceiling lower and lower, which seems to crush the protagonist's head with the symbols that he uses. Mummy Longlegs then appears in the distance, informing the protagonist that it's been a long
Oh,
time
it's just saying
since
one
the
thing me
game came here, which
Mama
leaves
like
us
legs,
with
but it's
one
one
Stella
here.
scene at the train station that the kids need to follow Mummy Longlegs.
Oh, isn't it amazing? Mommy hasn't seen the place around years. Mommy can only imagine how excited Bunzo must be. It's been such a long time since he's been able to play, to cheer, to eat. That's the dinner bell. Good
I,
night.
I
Before,
don't
he
think
seems
of
to
damn
enjoy
bell.
life even when the kids
Mommy
are
long
at the
legs.
playground, as shown through the image taken on 1992, known as the heyday.
Mayday.
Successfully
Oh,
managing to beat the
Mayday.
Remember the Color game, or also commonly known as
Curse it,
Silent,
Mayday.
Bunny in a menacing, disappointed tone gives part of the code to the train by stretching her arm unnaturally far and awaits the protagonist to play another game. Something that for some reason Mummy enjoys
Oh, the
seems
hand is
to
just
annoy her.
looking.
Mummy could easily rip the
What's
protagonist
going
apart
on?
at any given time, able to stretch without any limits and be present at any part of the factory within seconds. But she is letting the protagonist play her games and doesn't seem to want him to escape. The protagonist traveling through the vents reaches a storage type room where the rejected toys are in. Toys that have been discontinued.
Wait
An
a minute.
example is OMG Oven, who caused
Who
33 burns on
is
children, a menacing
the
toy which could be the
robot?
result of an experiment, just simply a quirk of the toy. As soon as Cyan videotape is found, which is a voice recorded by Ray, whose complaint about bad work environment
Oh, this
backfired,
is
but
which.
then being demoted to work in the island of Misfit.
This shows the horrible work environment where no one listens to complaints. Oh, God awful workers. I do I do love the workers in the factory. Of course you.
Misfit toys, as he calls it.
I love my shit. Toys. Got it.
After years of being ignored, the company actually heard all my complaints. Yep, they listened very carefully. I guess my words must have really inspired them to take action. Because the next day I got demoted down here to the freaking island of misfit toys!
To the freaking island of mystic toys.
Going back to the game
That is it.
station,
That's
the
the
protagonist unlocks the door
best
to the second game.
voice line in the face of the game.
In the large
My
sad hall
goodness.
surrounded by many holes where many Wahis come out of, Mommy explains that they used to have strings attached to them, so when they would get too close to children, they'd be pulled back. But now, they don't have any more strings, insinuating that if the protagonist doesn't react quick enough, they surely will kill him.
The they could be all back when they got too close to the children. Have fun.
After managing to get out of it alive and whack the Woggies, Mommy clearly voices her disappointment at the protagonist succeeding, saying that she hoped that he would stay here forever. Nonetheless, she congratulates him and gives him another clue for the code.
Mommy is so proud of you. Mommy
Wait,
doesn't
is that movie
Mommy
Molly's a
stands
snap
behind an observation glass
of
here
this
with a
behavior?
large amount of
Molly,
moisture trickling down the wall
of
being
course you.
observable. So just think how many people must have died here.
Stay
Going deeper in
positive.
the Wacky Wuggy playground, the protagonist encounters Kissy Missy, who instead of showing any aggression, actually assists the protagonist by pulling the lever and opening the path for him. But before that, she gives him a disappointed and resentful look. She leaves quickly before the protagonist can even get a chance to inspect her at a closer distance. Stumbling upon another videotape, the protagonist observes an employee called Jacksepticeye,
Hey,
Marcus, who reports on
hey,
an incident
is that
recorded on March
Marcus
1991.
for a
He
second?
explains witnessing a large
Hey,
monster with 1,000
is that
legs when
second?
he forgot his
Is
wallet
that
in an automated
second by?
factory after hours.
I
This,
mean,
of course,
and second,
corresponds with the
seven,
poster in Chapter
and
1
seven
that
guy.
the employee shouldn't be in
I
the
mean,
factory after
seven guy.
certain hours. The interviewer, being a higher up, clearly tries to dismiss his claims and
And
say that
Marcus.
there's nothing but toys. This clearly shows that the company was keeping the secret of experimenting on humans and toys, so maybe it was only the children who knew the toys are alive. And of course, certain other authorized people. Going back to the game station, the protagonist unlocks the third game called Statues.
Mm.
In this section, the TV instructs the
I just
protagonist
don't
that
know
he
how
needs to
Mama
play a
Lolly
game
says
of
so then
statues with
Huggy
Peach
Wuggy
on the
other
pillow.
words please.
Just after the TV instructions, Mommy appears in the distance, informing the protagonist that
I'm
the
so sorry.
children used to play here and call her Mommy, as she wants the closest thing
I'm
they ever
sorry.
had to her, as of course they were orphans. However, they lived and possibly got adopted if not experimented on, which made Mommy very resentful and angry. She refers to the protagonist as an ex-employee, someone who deserves more than anyone to be trapped here and rot, rather than
Okay,
the
that's a
toys
freaky
such as
spoiler.
Mommy who was experimented on. Mommy clearly seems resentful of the employees of Playtime as they experimented on her and left her here for eternity, bringing her to life, giving her consciousness, but enslaving her to work for them forever. What is strange, however,
Not
that he
going
seems
over
to
Mandy
recognize the
on the side.
protagonist, someone who doesn't seem to remember his past life and encountering Mommy. Managing to bypass PJ, Mommy becomes furious, first trying to
Oh, the
manipulate
one
the
who makes a
protagonist so that she
PC
cannot
bugger
choke
pillar.
her, then she loses her composure and clearly becomes angry, showing her true nature. A note that explains who Mommy Longleg is, labeled as Experiment 1222 with a subject name Mary
Wait a
Payne,
minute,
simply
experiment
have to
one
been
two
the
two
basis
two.
for the experiment.
Oh,
In the note, it's written that she doesn't like the
that's
sight
your
and shows
that your
hostility
experiment
towards them,
in
but
a
acts
language.
motherly and caring with the children. They transferred her eventually to the kids section so they could condition her easily, as she wouldn't show her bad side in front of the children. This proves that the toys came to life with the help of human test
Mary
subjects,
Poe.
possibly using the poppy flower among some
Oh,
other chemicals. She's
who is
labeled as
Mary
Experiment 1222,
Penguin?
with Huggy Wuggy being Experiment 1006, which means Huggy was created much earlier than her, which is true based on the information that Huggy was created in 1984 and Mummy was created in 1991. That's at least what I thought
Oh
about what the
yeah,
experiment member
the
of Huggy Wuggy
timeline
is, which we soon
lore.
will learn to be
That
something different.
yeah,
Mummy then finds the
that's
protagonist
so
and gives him a
true.
final chance of survival, playing a game of hide and seek in a
It,
camp
it's
in 10
the
second incident. After some
is it the
time,
voice of
Mummy
it
soon
actually
finds the
experiment
protagonist chasing after
1006
him
and
on hunt
Hungary as
mode.
well?
The protagonist finally reaches a
If
room
if
where
Mummy
Mummy gets
Galaxy
accidentally
actually
sucked into a gear
1991,
system, crushing her
why
for
is it
some
still
time.
getting this?
Just as the upper half of her body drops off from the rest of her body, a mechanical spider-like arm pulls the upper part, as if being the spider who has been pacing on the web around her. Finding a tape reveals the nature of the strange, unseen entity.
Log code 08502. In relation. Experiment 1006. Prototype. A close call occurred this week in which he nearly breached containment. The prototype seemingly disassembled the digital alarm clock within his room and utilized the battery, along with several other components, to create a laser pointer, which he then fired into the security camera, disabling it. These actions allowed him 28.3 seconds completely unmonitored. Once function returned to the camera, the room appeared to be empty. One surveillance specialist went in to confirm his absence. However, upon opening the door, she realized that the prototype had hidden in one of the camera's blind spots. The prototype attempted to escape through the open door. However, another surveillance specialist was able to remotely relock the door, despite the other specialists still being inside. One casualty occurred. The prototype seems to possess an unprecedented level of intelligence beyond that of all other test subjects, as well as an alarming willingness to commit violence. Further suppression treatments will need to be enacted to ensure that no other experiments develop these qualities. Experiment 1170, Huggy Wuggy, remains the optimal outcome due to his sufficient intelligence paired with maximum obedience. End of log.
This entity is the one in fact referred
End
to
of
as
luck.
Experiment 1006, who has shown
Wait a
great
minute,
intelligence throughout this
1006,
game
isn't
and
he
doesn't seem to shy
wonderful?
away from showing
No,
violence.
it's not
Huggy
wonderful, it's
is
just
Experiment
Mommy Alex is
1170,
still dead
despite
in
what
the
I used to
ground.
think to be 1006, who also has high intelligence, but unlike the mechanical spider-like entity, he has maximum obedience, making him to be one of the best results out of any experiments. Managing to exit the statue's playground, the protagonist finds a way to the observation room on the higher platforms above the game station. He proceeds to activate the train, helping Puppy to get out of her constraints.
Hey, this puppy.
Puppy, in a menacing way, seems content with Mommy dying and proceeds to go down to the train. A note in the observation room titled Proctoring in the game station instructs the staff on what they need to do in order to keep the children busy. However, it appears to be more sinister than just a general watchover. Each child is individually assessed
Singular
based on how
whatsoever.
they did on each game, with musical
Doesn't
memory
make sense.
assessing their composure, memory, and pattern recognition. The Waggy Wuggy assesses their hand-eye coordination and reaction time.
Oh, that is a fun fact for this game. Musical memory, composer, memory, pattern, word coordination, waggy waggy, hand, hand, eye, coordination, action time, stats used, actually, stealth speed. That makes sense.
Finally,
Not
the
calling, not
statue
calling of
assesses
a
their
amazing
agility,
says
strength, and speed.
running so
The rewards
fast
then need to be handed to still a
for
greater for
leaking,
being assertive. As soon as they're
except for
hitting an
basic
edge, the
backability says
observers are in lab coats and clearly
for
organized the
leaking
children
is
for
what
certain
for
experiments.
for running
As the
this game.
protagonist gets on the
Not
train and enters the code, he reveals
not
her true
actually the
nature
game
and she
of
in fact
probably
doesn't want the
playtime with subject
protagonist to
to
leave
Okay, wait a
as
minute.
she has been
I'm
around
really
for a
confused.
long time, with Mummy being the one who locked her in the glass case, with Puppy even being seemingly more manipulative and evil.
I was so scared she put me back in that case. But you saved me. You are perfect. Too perfect to lose. I'm
Too
sorry.
perfect to lose.
I can't let you leave. I've never met anyone like you. Do you know how long I've been stuck in that case? Well, too long.
I
I had
was, I
so
was,
much
I
time
was
to
a
think
player,
and
not
reflect.
puppy.
Time to figure out exactly what I would do when free. You'll set things right. Terrible things have happened. But I know that whatever I need you to do, you're capable. We will.
The protagonist then stops the train, pulling the emergency
And
brakes,
and
causing the train to
and
derail, ending
don't
up in a play care,
do
while the protagonist
don't
slowly
make
loses
their
consciousness. Now, it
weird
seems the deaths mainly happened
puppy.
because of this mechanical experiment known as Experiment 1006, possibly breaking all the toys free and being intelligent enough to know that what the company is doing to the toys is pure slavery. Something much more sinister, however, seems to hide beneath and behind the closed doors.
And
Something to look
and
forward to
and it was
in
was
Chapter
was
3.
about not puppy. Chapter 3. Oh, this
This
is like
brings
me
us to
saying
the
the
end
kind of
of
it is
chapter
there.
2. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to stay tuned for more videos and theories on Puppy Playtime chapter 2 by hitting on the subscribe button and the notification bell. It's been your host Star, and I was. What is the mysterious experiment 1006, also known as the prototype? It's been speculated and theorized that it could be Huggy Wuggy or the protagonist, but only through chapter 2 we learned it's a much more sinister entity capable of showing great intelligence and brutality. Hi folks, I'm R and welcome to the video. Send me your theories on Twitter, which I could cover in the upcoming videos. This video will have spoilers about chapter 1 and 2. With that said, let's begin.
Who is that? What the fuck?
Experiment
Experiment
1006, or also
1006.
known as the prototype, was finally shown a glimpse
What?
of at the end, displayed as a mechanical claw
What do
attached to
other
the arm
users want to talk
bones
about?
ulna and radius, representing an anatomically correct forearm which leads to the upper arm. It's not clearly shown if the arm is attached to a whole body or partly dismembered or damaged body, and using the free camera hack, even going out of bounds, the arm appears to be fully independent of the body and detached. However, I believe this is intentional, as Mob Games only wanted to tease us with this new menacing character and didn't want to fully reveal his shape. Therefore, if only the arm is going to be visible in the playthrough, there's no need to go through the hassle to fully model and design a character which
Oh,
won't
so
be
means like
seen. In other
Porta
words,
has
us, the
missing
players,
his
are
to
only
his
supposed to see
body.
the arm in the
That
game,
makes
and
sense.
designing an entire body is not necessary. And anyway, behind the scenes and out of bounds are a mystical realm where terrifying characters are peacefully T-posing and minding their own business. To fortify my
I
theory
thought you
that the
ever did
arm,
something.
or the claw as many are calling it, is not just a claw floating in the air. I have some good evidence for that. After Mommy Longlegs is crushed in a brutally agonizing manner, her remaining upper half of body is dragged by the claw behind the semi-opened rolling door. The arm visibly doesn't rely on the movement of the fingers to move itself and doesn't rely on the elbow joint either. It drags the remains of Mummy and itself from a higher joint, which is possibly the shoulder, if Experiment 1006 is thought to have a humanoid form. The arm doesn't also bend its elbow joint, which is a little odd, as pulling something usually requires bending elbows. If you're watching this video on your computer and you have a mouse, you can try it yourself and mimic the way the arm pulled Mummy. You need to bend your elbow unless you move your entire body backwards and walk back without bending any joints. Therefore, if the arm isn't attached to a ghost or an unseen force, defying the laws of physics and
As
what
a
we have been shown
force.
so far in the
But
game,
what
it
about
must
the
be attached
body,
to a
not
body,
as a
allowing it to
force?
move as such. The arm also shows a good view of what might be inside the toys, which also provides another evidence that it's not just a floating arm. It has a red vessel and a blue vessel running through it, suggestive of being an organic entity. In oversimplified biology terms, all entities belonging to the animalia kingdom, or in simpler terms, animals, they tend to require oxygen to survive. Most animals have red vessels known as arteries and blue vessels known as veins. Arteries tend to deliver
Veins.
oxygenated blood from the heart to other parts of the body and tissues, keeping them alive so they can move. With veins delivering the deoxygenated
I
blood
got
from
veins
the
right
body
here.
parts and tissues back to the heart so it can be reoxygenated. Therefore, the vessels seen on the arm lead to a heart or a pumping machine somewhere in its body, which pumps oxygenated blood into the tissues. These vessels are far lower in number to what could be observed in a human body. However, it could also be justified as the only organic part of this arm are the ulna and the radius bones on the forearm. If the other toys possess similar characteristics to the arm, proves that they are alive in the sense of having oxygenated blood running through their bodies. But we'll leave that theory for another video.
That's
There
just a
are also
UFO
other
bot.
evidences hinting that experiment 1006, the prototype, is not just an arm. In the videotape recordings, the scientist clearly refers
Oh,
to it as him,
a bottom
masculine
is
pronoun,
not as
something
easy to
that wouldn't be the case with just
Oh,
an arm.
the
And more
sneaky little
appropriately,
machine.
it would be just referred to as it. The scientist also describes how intelligent it is and how it is capable of cooperation if he wants to, proceeding to describe an accident which led to a casualty, which experiment 1006 intricately caused, crafting some sort of laser pointing it to the camera to disable it, something that would not be logically possible just for an arm. In the first videotape about Experiment 1006, the scientist refers to it as first of its kind compared to many other similar experiments to it, who is capable of so much. He is thought to be the culprit behind so many disappearances as well, able to even outsmart the scientists with so many safety measures at place, such as cameras and security doors.
Simulation experiment 1006 prototype.
Yeah,
Coordination operations evident
I,
in skill
I
set
know who he
as
is.
well as the skill set of all other
Let's go here for
on
this.
site. You're still missing. These events have no calculation to hit. His absence was a flawed scientific process which should have under no circumstances been left unaccounted for. That is why I'm making this law, so that the same mistake won't be made twice. Any future experiments will need to be contained and disposed of in a secure location. I'm worried about myself. I'm afraid I will not be back, because unfortunately, it's new science. Those who are beneath us understand it or not. And
On the second tape, the scientist explains how
Can you
intelligent it
please,
is, capable
can
of
you
crafting
please,
high-tech
for
tools, who also
the
shows no
settings
hesitation
of
in
this
killing
video?
and displaying violence. That's why the scientists were left with no other choice but to leave a specialist trapped inside the prototype's room with him, as they could not risk letting the prototype escape, as he could kill everyone. This of course led to the brutal and agonizingly slow death of the specialist left in the prototype's room.
experiment 1006, the prototype. A close call occurred this week in which he nearly breached containment. The prototype seemingly disassembled the digital alarm clock within his room and utilized the battery, along with several other components, to create a laser pointer, which he then fired into the security camera, disabling it. These actions allowed him 28.3 seconds completely unmonitored. Once function returned to the camera, the room appeared to be empty. One surveillance specialist went in to confirm his absence. However, upon opening the door, she realized that the prototype had hidden in one of the camera's blind spots. The prototype attempted to escape through the open door. However, another surveillance specialist was able to remotely relock the door, despite the other specialists still being inside. One casualty occurred. The prototype seems to possess possess an unprecedented level of intelligence beyond that of all other test subjects, as well as an alarming willingness to commit violence. Further suppression treatments will need to be enacted to ensure that no other experiments develop these qualities. Experiment 1170, Huggy Wuggy, remains the
Oh,
optimal outcome
experiment
due to
one,
sufficient intelligence
experiment
paired with maximum
one
obedience.
one
According
seven
to a note
zero.
found early in
Huggy
the
Wuggy.
game, after entering
That
Iliad
makes sense
Ludwig's
actually.
office, the note described experiment
Why is something
814,
like
which
every
involved
experiment?
using a rat.
Why is
The
there
rat
something
was
like
intentionally killed and then
experiment
placed
for
inside the
experiment
gel mixture,
1006?
having the poppy flower and
Why not
other
actually
chemicals in
experiment
hopes of bringing the rat back to
1170?
life. The note includes a
Doesn't
menacing
make
last
sense.
line that Elliot believed the experiment would be more successful on larger organisms. This probably was the start of Elliot Ludwig experimenting on humans. According to the experiment numbers, it seems that they are labeled in a chronological order from when they were experimented on. The rat seems to have been one of the earlier experiments leading to Puppy, Mommy Ludwig's, Huggy Wuggy, the other toys, and of course experiment 1006, the prototype. Huggy Wuggy is revealed to be known
All the
as
mental
experiment
prototype actually
1170,
for
the dog
all the
created in
experiments
1984.
of the toys. That
Subsequently,
makes sense
Mommy
actually.
Ludwig's was created many years later in 1991. It's being labeled as
Oh,
experiment
I just did my
1222
review
with 52 other
Mommy
experiments
Longlegs
in between them
commercial.
happening over a span
Since
of 7
this for that.
years. That means that Playtime Co. carried out an average of 7.42 experiments each year. Doing a bit of
Damn.
calculation, we can get an estimate of when experiment 1006 was born, a year correlating with the death of Elliot Ludwig's child, 1962.
62.
Keep in mind, this is just an
Oh,
estimate,
that
as
makes
the
sense.
rates of
Boy
experiments
in
could vary each year, with
1962.
earlier
Thank
experiments being
you.
done on a much higher
Now I found
rate,
any
as they were
sentence.
typically done on rats and other
That is
small
good.
animals. And the key element of what experiment 1006 is that when Mummy is being crushed, she seems to be more worried about becoming part of them, as she says it herself, than being killed.
YouTube plus baby time.
Who is she talking about here, and why she's so scared of becoming part of them? Well, we can only speculate here with some educated guesses. We know by now that experiment 1006 is intelligent and good at crafting things. Like I
Isn't
say,
Bones
he's a
just
wonderful and
two?
sorry about that. Mummy is soon taken after dying. There
It's
is
just
no
cause it's
other,
something.
you guessed it, experiment
Is
1006.
it
The question
is
is,
it the
what could he
Bones
possibly
just
want to do with her? She's dead after all and has nothing else to
like
offer.
test
Well,
for his
the
body?
theory of mine is
How
that
makes sense.
experiment 1006 uses parts of the toys to craft specific tools for his own benefit. Many toys around the factory have blood pouring out of them, with them being broken and missing parts, which could also indicate that experiment 1006 used their parts. But with Mummy's death, she says that she doesn't want to be a part of him. She doesn't say anything about being crafted into a tool. Therefore, I believe experiment 1006, as suggested, a prototype, is an incomplete entity with many physical imperfections. After all, he's the first of his kind. Despite his physical deformities, as seen through his arm, being a mixture of metallic parts and real human bones, having no cover such as skin or a fluffy exterior, experiment 1006 has something that many others don't: his ability to think for himself and have freedom from being obedient. He uses this in his advantage to find a way out of the cruel enslavement of Playtime Co. Experiment 1006, in fact, uses different parts of toys and maybe even humans to create a himself a better physical form or body, fixing all of his deformities and imperfections. After all, Experiment 1006 shows great violence at any given time and seeks his own redemption from the components of the factory. It's very possible that the
He's
organization at the
loose.
factory collapsed due to him,
It is in
destroying anything
emergency
that he could,
lockdown.
trying to find a way out. But what I don't
The
understand is why
prototype has
Playtime Co.
saved
decided
us.
to keep him alive after noticing how
Isn't he
dangerous he
wonderful?
is, even causing many disappearances and killing a
What you also
specialist
want to
is
talk?
such a
What you
brutal
also want
act,
to talk about?
which, as far as we know, to be only one. They could
The
even be
prototype
a
is
lot
not
more.
actually
Maybe
save
Playtime
everyone.
Co. wanted to study him more and
The
learn from their
prototype is
mistakes
actually to
and
bring the
improve on
player
them. I can't know for
for
sure.
actually
There's another theory that I've heard that
outsider
Experiment
and
1006 could be
probably
Daddy
Playtime Chapter
Longlegs, as
5.
seen through a poster labeled as Mommy Longlegs and Family. In the poster, she is seen to have her fingers intertwined with a male counterpart to herself, while a baby is in between them. Now, I'm not too sure if Daddy Longlegs ever saw any production days, as there's no evidence of him ever being in physical form, or whether he was left in the concept stage only. But it's clear that Daddy Longlegs, just like Kissy Missy, was created as the counterpart to Playtime's most popular toys, to basically meet the demand. It's only logical to provide people with what they want and, of course, cash out more money. Therefore, it's clear that Daddy Longlegs, whether just a concept or an actual toy, was created after Mommy Longlegs, so maybe 1992 or later, after the company saw the success of Mommy Longlegs. This would mean that Daddy Longlegs would be having a higher number as an experiment according to the experiment's chronological order, a number higher than 1222, which belongs to mummies. This information refutes the
I'll
possibility of Daddy
experiment for a
Longlegs being
kid for
experiment
prototype.
1006, as
Yeah,
that
duh.
entity
I'm
seems
not
to be
stupid.
much older than majority of the experiment grown toys. As the name also suggests, it was a prototype. Although it would be unlikely for a new concept toy created after 1991, after many other experimental toys, to be a toy from 1960s with a lower experiment number and named as prototype, created before majority of toys, I have an open mind and open to listen to any counter arguments and evidence siding with Daddy Longlegs being experiment 1006. Keep in mind that it's all just a theory anyway, and of course they could be wrong or correct until we get some solid evidence in later chapters. That brings us to the end of this theory video. If you enjoyed it and want to watch more theory videos about Puppy Playtime, make sure to stay tuned by hitting the subscribe button and the notification bell. It's been your host Star, and I will see you on the next one.
Okay? The theme song starts still starting actually. Okay, last one. What actually happened in at the end of Puppy Playtime Chapter 2? So still like it started.
The end of Puppy Playtime Chapter 2 raised more questions than answering them, displaying that Puppy has more sinister intentions and ulterior motives than just guiding the protagonist to safety. A signboard labeled as Playcare also showed that the Playtime Co. factory is much bigger and more twisted than initially thought to be. Hi folks, I'm R, and welcome to the video. Make sure to send me your theory ideas on Twitter, which I could cover in the upcoming videos. As it should be clear by the title, this video will have
Oh,
spoilers. With
sick.
that said,
I'm
let's
very
begin.
sick of spoilers. What what actually happened at the
The
end?
end of Chapter 2 had a plot
Oh
twist
jeez.
that many actually saw coming. Puppy was not who she was pretending to be. After the protagonist was lured into the factory with the thought that the Playtime Co. staff are still there, it comes to the quick realization that everyone was vanished apart from the hostile moving toys that Playtime Co. experimented on. The videotape recording suggests that the staff were murdered by entities below them who were seemingly set free by experiment 1006. And by that, he means the children or the people they experimented on, as they usually observe them from platforms above. protagonist tricked to go back to the factory and quickly decided to leave, setting Puppy free on his way, who seemed to be friendly and acted as a guide at first. Whilst on the train heading to the exit, which is a straight path through the train tunnel, Puppy soon reveals that the
Oh,
protagonist
it
is too
goes
perfect
up
to
and
lose
right
and that she cannot let
in
him
the
leave.
train.
When she suddenly
There's such
changes
more.
the direction of the train, going to the path on the right instead of straight.
I was so scared she put me back in that case. But you saved me. You're perfect. Too perfect to lose. I'm sorry. I can't let you leave.
Puppy also mentions that she was trapped by many landlegs in the glass case, which gives
It
us an
says
important
a
clue that
master
they opposed
puppy.
each other for some reason.
The
To
master.
understand what Puppy's true intentions are, we must first understand Mummy's intentions, or at least try to some degree. On the surface, Mummy's intentions are quite black and white. She wants to kill the protagonist as he is a member of the staff. The staff who experimented on her and trapped her in the Playtime Co factory. Therefore, it's evident she doesn't really like the staff of the factory, which is further confirmed in the experiment notes found about her, in which she's described to be hostile towards the staff, who was planned to become
Oh,
their chef,
hostile
in
with
order
the
to
staff.
become more obedient.
How is the
Now,
mistake
just
of the
because
title
Mummy is
rules
an
of the
enemy of
game?
the staff doesn't automatically make Puppy a friend of
By
the staff.
isn't Mummy
Quite
Alex says
contrary, Puppy
wasn't
seems to be
of
much more
hostile with the
benevolent than
staff.
Mummy, having ulterior motives with the protagonist, clearly lying to him and hiding his secret. Whatever Puppy was doing seemed to be something Mummy didn't agree with, leading to her trapping her in the glass box. Maybe Puppy did in fact want to free the protagonist, but after seeing how resourceful he is, she decided to keep him and use him longer, continuing on her mysterious mission. I have a theory for this, which I'll leave for another video, as we're getting a little sidetracked from the topic of this video. Where were we? Oh yes, the train. Whilst on the train, Puppy goes on a menacing monologue, acting as if he
Where are we?
mastermind,
The twin? Oh
informing the
yes.
protagonist he's
I
too
don't think
perfect to lose. When she
I
changes the train
don't
tracks, leading
I
to the
don't
right
think they
at
get
the
the very
initial
says and
straight
wanted
path he was
to
supposed to go
the
through.
video
It's not clear as of
yet.
yet if the path straight did
I
actually
don't
lead
think
to the exit,
I don't think of the
protagonist's
very get
ultimate
the very yet.
redemption, or if it led somewhere much.
Accurate texting. I mean, uh, how does a video? Sorry,
The protagonist, he's too perfect to
I still have plans for you.
lose. When she
Yeah,
changes the train tracks,
you
leading to the
can
right
die
at the
later.
initial street path
Yeah.
he was supposed to go through. It's not clear as of yet if the path straight
Oh,
did actually
that
lead
makes
to the
sense.
exit and
The
protagonist's
text
ultimate
actually the
redemption,
prototype
or if it led
for
somewhere much
actually
worse, a place where the protagonist
clear
will meet
half
his
you.
end.
That
Because
makes
when
sense.
Puppy says
Thank you,
the
people.
protagonist is too perfect to lose, it could have double meaning. First one that comes to mind is that Puppy wants to keep him trapped with herself, not letting him leave the factory. And second,
Oh, okay,
it could
that
mean
is
that she
scary
is
too.
trying to save
I
him
could,
from dying. Whatever the meaning is, it's clear that Puppy doesn't want the protagonist to die. At
that is,
least, not yet. After each death, the protagonist
okay,
is
that is
revived
scary
with
to
encouraging
see
texts appearing on the
manner
screen,
for a puppy
cheering him to
like
push on
that.
forward. At times, however, the texts are much less encouraging, and instead they are more manipulative and seem to contain sinister, cryptic, deeper messages. Even at times, it's clear that Puppy doesn't want the
It's not your
protagonist to
time.
die, at least
You can
not
die
yet.
later.
After each death, the protagonist is revived
It's not your
with
time.
encouraging
Yeah.
texts appearing on the screen, cheering him to push on forward. At times, however, the texts cheering him to push on forward. At times, however,
More lives are at risk than says yours.
the texts are
That
much
is
less
a moment.
encouraging,
You
and
can
instead they are
die
more
later.
manipulative
This,
and
uh,
seem to
this
contain
isn't
sinister,
about you.
cryptic,
I still
deeper
have plans for
messages.
you.
Even at times,
There are
believe that the
things worse
protagonist
than
is
death.
just as important as being forced
It's
through
not
whatever purpose
over.
the writer
I
of
mean
these
you're alive.
messages has. What's very
Yeah.
interesting, however, is that after each death,
Oh,
the
hey,
flash of white
the main
light
like
is
the
seen on the
taxi
screen,
actually the death
not by a
restaurant.
buzzing or ringing
It's
noise, as if the
still
protagonist was shot
The music I do like the text still death
This
threats
is exactly what the
of the
protagonist
game
experiences at the very end.
for
Once
hostile of
again, the
that.
play here stumbles.
This is
We'll get
nice.
back to that a
This
little later.
baffle. Mine's my
As the
point.
train changes directions, Poppy continues with her evil monologue. She explains that she's never met anyone like the protagonist, and that she has been stuck in the glass case for a very long time, which gave her time to reflect and think of what she would do when she's free. She further explains that she wants to set things right, and the protagonist would be a perfect tool and use for whatever, as he's quite capable.
There's never been anyone like you. You know how long I've been stuck in that cave? Well, too long. I had so
So
much
long.
time to think and reflect. Time to figure out exactly what I would do when free. We'll set things right. Terrible things have happened. But I know that whatever I need you to do, you're capable. We will. What?
This clearly shows that the
Well,
protagonist is manipulated and controlled to some level. It seems as if the
what,
protagonist suffers
how
from
does Puppy
memory loss and
to
doesn't
speak
remember
up with
much of what happened.
the audio?
After
I'm
all
so
of the staff
confused.
within the factory died. Why would the protagonist be the only one that survived? If he actually ever did and ever saw the light of the day outside. As the scientist in the first videotape suggests, one breakthrough would mean the ability to be resurrected, a death that he was not too worried about. It's very possible the protagonist died but managed to be resurrected,
All
and
of
as a
these simple
result, suffered
voices.
from memory
I'm
loss
clear
and
of that.
forgot who he
Thank you.
is. Either way, Bobby finds him to be a perfect tool to
Oh, this is a
pursue
big
her
head for
missions and
Puppy.
mysterious plans, things she wants to set right, as she mentioned.
Wait,
But
what is going
what are
on?
the things that she wants to set right? There are two major events that come to mind here, which could be considered as mistakes in different perspectives. Through the scientists and staff perspective, the breakout of the
Why you
dolls
study
and
alien
extracting
like
1006
Sasu
leaking
as a
out of
base?
control was considered to be a major scientific flaw, something that wasn't
Can you
supposed to
please
happen.
remove other Sasu face instead of instead of
Therefore, Poppy
for
possesses the sort
but
of
people
mind
can't
of a
see
staff
it?
member. If by any chance Stella Graver, she might want to re-establish the factory, bringing it to its glory days as seen on a large photograph back to the heyday
Oh,
of 1992. In other words,
May
setting
5th
things right. So that
of
would in a way
Mayday.
explain why Mommy
Let's make
Longlegs
that
trapped her
right.
in the glass case and didn't want her to proceed with her plans. But if Buffy possesses the mind of one of the experiments who was forcefully transferred into a doll, she possibly considers what Clayton Cook did to be wrong and evil, experimenting with human lives and trying to give dolls consciousness. Therefore, trying to fully topple down the organization and setting the dolls free could be considered setting things right at this perspective. Through either perspectives, keeping someone like the protagonist is a logical thing to do, considering he's so capable he managed to destroy both Huggy Wuggy and Mommy Longlegs, two of the most menacing dolls in the factory. As Bobby is continuing
Yeah,
with her
exactly.
monologue,
It's the
she seems to
villain
be quickly
way.
stopped by someone or
Not calling
something,
over the pain or
gasping
his
at a
essay the
complete
villain essay.
exclamatory sentence of what is, before her calm system
Oh,
and
what
stop.
is
This leads to the train losing
why
control and achieving exceedingly higher speeds, causing the train to derail when the protagonist pulls the emergency brake lever. Buffy seems to have control of the situation until she was stopped by an entity of some
oh
sort,
what is
as
going on
she
with the
made the
puppy?
exclamatory remark, seeing something she did not expect, ending her monologue prematurely. It's unclear as of yet what this entity was and what its intentions were, but presumably, just like Mommy Longlegs, they opposed Puppy and don't want her to continue with their mission. As the train derails and flips, the protagonist loses his consciousness and briefly sees the Baker sign before a flash of
Consciousness.
white light followed by a buzzing
No,
sound brings
no,
this chapter to an
you
end.
cannot
If
die,
by any
Clea.
chance you are thinking this flash of white light and the buzzing noise seems very familiar, you are right. Every Every time the protagonist dies, he experiences exactly the
So it's
same
not
feeling.
clear who's this
He
game.
sees a flash of white light, then found by a buzzing noise, messages telling him that despite what it might appear, he's far from being dead, and that death is not permanent. I believe these screen messages are not just a gameplay gimmick, but in reality, they are trying to tell us something. The deaths seem to be in fact canon, and each time he dies, he manages to reawaken and start over, seemingly not remembering what happened before. According to the death screens and what the protagonist experiences, he seems to die as the train derails, but of course, as we already know, death is not permanent, and the protagonist is too important to lose. Therefore,
Hmm.
he'll just get back right up, continuing on his
I
mission,
wish.
led by Puppy, but this time, he has to face whatever entity
I'll go
interrupted
to
him.
the Texas.
Now, why would there be two tracks for the train, one leading
Wait a
straight
minute,
and
two
the
tracks
other to the
ahead?
right? Well, the
How does it make
children are
sense?
actually put under observation and tested when they are sent to play games. They are placed in each game individually, with specialists giving them scores for each game. Based on their level of success, they could be sent to playcare, where they are kept for further examination. Playcare, of course, as a play on words for daycare, the place where children are kept until their parents come back from work or whatever errand they need to run. Therefore, that means the children are kept in playcare for a very long time, moving them from the temporary game station. That is, if they are desirable by the playtime code. It can be only speculated to what happens to them in there, going over some hints and evidence shown through the game. Ilya Ludwig is shown to have lost a dear family member, a man who was said to be divorced.
Playtime Co. is the product of a great man by the name of Elliot Ludwig, divorced but a family man at heart.
Therefore,
Oh,
what
the
could be
first
an
was in my
ideal
hearts.
family if the spouse was found in
It's
the
called
picture?
others.
Well,
Wait a minute.
children. So it's clear that
Oh, the
Elliot
story
lost his
of the
child
soul.
as appropriately
That makes like
labeled
a parents
a
identity
tragedy,
for
which
giving the
made him
soul
revive a
for
love of
children in this
nature and
game.
try to bring
Thank
that
you.
back. He started experimenting with
It
magic
says
powers
orphans
using
in
the
this game.
incredible properties of reviving live creatures. This, of course,
It,
led to
it,
more
it,
sinister
but,
plans,
it,
probably testing
but,
suitable
but isn't
children
it to be
in order
children or
trying to bring them
orphans?
back. And that
What's this
is,
like
he
about?
doesn't want to use them as a
Not,
vessel
not
to
calling
transfer
of
the consciousness of his child to their new
the souls
children's
for
bodies.
children
Therefore,
or orphans.
playcare is just
Not calling
another
of
word for
the
experimentations
muscles.
deeper in the bowels of the dark and evil organization of Playtime Co. If you enjoyed this video and want to watch more Fury videos, make sure to stay tuned right here by hitting on the subscribe button and the notification bell. It's been your host Star, and I will see you on the next one. Take care.
Me too are. I guys, that's it for action 2 of Poppy Playtime Chapter 2 Story Flow Explained for 3 videos. So so in next video is gonna be of more some more of some more of Bala Voice Team Islands episodes by Sega Savvy. So yeah, th- it's yeah. There's there's a guy seeing that video. The list of the list of the list of mental health button, subscribe, and notification bell to do. It's second this video of Power 3 and Puzzling Mysteries. Secrets around Buggers Bellevue.